And welcome to Highlights. My name is Jim Strawn, host of the television program Highlights from the Heart of Our Community. Is brought to you through a collaboration between Jim Strawn and Company, the Media Center, and HD Media, along with our newest sponsor. Special thanks to Banker's Life. There's no life like the Banker's Life. And if you're a regular viewer of the Highlights program, and we certainly hope that you are, you know how much you love to focus on those grassroots organizations, businesses, grassroots people that are just doing truly remarkable work, amazing work to make our beautiful state of West Virginia and our Kanawha Valley and our city of Charleston a much better place to live, learn, work, and to play. And on today's Highlights program, we're going to feature an organization near and dear to my heart, an organization that does all of that I just mentioned. And this time of year, we typically talk about a very special event to raise money for the YWCA. The YWCA's Girls' Night Out. It is a party with a purpose. You can see on the screen this year's theme is All That Sparkles. You can see the date, August the 13th of 2022. The location will be the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. So we're going to be talking all things YWCA, more specifically all things Family Resolve, the Family Abuse Program, the YWCA Resolve Family Abuse Program. So we're going to be talking with the director there, my good friend Julie, and then we also have, for the first time to the program, Haley. Haley's the marketing director with the YWCA, a good friend of mine, but we're going to welcome her to the show as well. So sit back, relax, take a lot of good notes, a lot of insight, a lot of really good information coming your way, a lot of good information coming your way. I want you to listen very intently to the party with the purpose, and we're going to talk about the purpose first and then the party. To help me get things started, I turn to my right. I welcome back into the Highlights program my good friend Julie Britton. Julie, how are you?
Hi, Jim. Thanks for having me. I'm great.
It's good to see you.
Awesome.
You are
too.
You're still the program director
I am.
of the
I'm
Family
still
Resolve
here.
program.
Yep.
I love it. And Haley, how are you?
I'm doing great, Jim.
Haley Spradlin.
Yep.
I call you the marketing director, the director of marketing coordinator,
director.
YWCA. Great to have you here. I'm going to start with Julie, okay? We'll come back and talk with Haley about the party. But this is the party with the purpose, and it's a fundraiser for the, I always like to get it right, the YWCA Resolve Family Abuse Program.
Nailed it. Yeah.
And you're the program director. How long have you been in that role, Julie?
I'll be there 5 years, right about Girls' Night Out time.
Yeah, about Girls' Night Out time. And before that, did you work with the YW, or did you work in the arena of family abuse, or are you pretty new to the industry 5 years ago?
So I've always had jobs where I've been an advocate.
Yes.
So AIDS housing years ago, worked for the state with emergency shelter programs, and then with the Department of Corrections as a victim advocate. So coming to Resolve was just, it allowed me to blend all the skills that I learned from all the jobs I had before that.
At the YWCA's Resolve program, what is it about? What's your mission? What's your calling? Why do you exist?
So the Resolve program is the licensed domestic violence program for 3 counties, Kanawha, Boone, and Clay. In those counties, we provide emergency shelter, rapid rehousing, which moves people out of homelessness and into their own permanent housing fairly quickly. We have the first and only pet-friendly shelter in the state, which is, it's kind of big. I'll mention that every time I possibly can.
You love your pets. We all love our pets.
Love,
our
absolutely,
babies, of course. Yes.
Absolutely. And it's a nice little break sometimes. If things get heavy, you just go out to the pet apartments and hang out with some cats every once in a while.
Pet therapy is very real.
Oh, absolutely.
When you pet a doggy, you hold a kitty cat, it's amazingly therapeutic. I know that firsthand.
Absolutely. And there's nothing better than going, okay, it's been a really heavy day. Let's go hang out with some cats. So
you have some heavy days.
There's definitely
This
some
is not
heavy
an easy
days.
subject for any of us to talk about. Domestic violence.
Right.
I'm always awed. Every year, I say this every year when we do this show, which is very powerful and a very meaningful show to me. I'm just always awed that we still need to talk about this and have this show, and we still need your services.
I know.
So it's still happening.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you know any of those numbers, but what would, if someone's watching this, it's typically a lady, not always, but
Right.
typically a lady's watching this. They feel like they're trapped in an emotionally abused, sometimes physically abusive relationship. They're watching this. They call. Take us through the procedure on what happens when someone calls you, and
Oh,
why
absolutely.
should they call you, Julie?
Absolutely. There's no wrong call. I
Okay.
do want to say that first. We use the term, and we have been saying crisis hotline, but I want to switch that up a little bit. And so we're trying to now refer to it as a helpline. We also have a chat. There's no wrong call or chat. The chat you can access through our website at ywcacharleston.org. The hotline, they'll pop up on the screen here in a bit. Those calls can be anything from, I have a friend, I think she's in an abusive relationship, how can I help her? To, I have 5 minutes and I have to leave the house, what do I have to do?
I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
That telephone number is 304-340-3549.
It is, yes.
304-340-3549. You can see the number on the screen there. That is a helpline, as you like to call
Absolutely,
it.
yeah.
That's what we have it up on the screen as a 24-hour helpline. So continue.
So those calls and chats are answered by our advocates that are staffing the shelter. They're local people. No one should leave one of our chats or calls without an idea of how they can help or other resources in the community, and at the very least, safety planning to help people stay safe. There are so many ways that we can help in little ways, and a lot of times it's putting together a plan with someone to pick a safe time for them to leave and give them the resources to do so.
I know not to ask this, but I'm going to ask it so the viewers will understand this. Typically I say, now where is your location? Where's the site? But I know not to ask that now.
Right, yeah.
It's a secret.
It's top secret, yes.
And it's a secret. Explain why it's such a secret.
It's a secret for a reason.
The safety of the victim, right?
We have a ton of safety precautions. That's what I want people to know. The one thing we do a lot of things really well, but the one thing we do really well is keeping people safe. No one comes onto our site without us knowing. Without getting into all of the safety and security that we use, pretty much nothing goes unseen. So it is a very safe place. It is local. I do want people to know that when you're here supporting Girls Night Out, you're supporting, folks in Kanawha, Boone, and Clay.
It's the three counties.
It's local, absolutely. So, and it's important because the most dangerous time for someone is when they leave.
Right after they say, okay,
absolutely.
I've got to change my life. I have got to get out of the situation that
Yes.
I'm in. I'm scared for my life. I'm in an emotional wreck. I'm either getting emotionally abused or physically abused, mentally abused. It doesn't have to be always physical, correct? I mean, there's lots of types of abuse that a relationship can have.
Absolutely.
And so when they are strong enough to make that phone call, your first thing is we've got to keep the victim safe. That's
Absolutely.
your very first thing. So if somebody gets into the program and they're doing well and they're a nervous wreck and it's a life-altering change, and they thought they were going to be in a relationship for the rest of their lives, and it's just not working. Take us through the progression of maybe how long they're in the program and what happens when they're in the Resolve program.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So let's just say if this were somebody coming in and they needed all of the support that we had, this is what it would look like. They would come to us at shelter first. Sometimes a lot of those referrals come from the emergency room. So we get folks that aren't necessarily disabled, but they say they couldn't do stairs. We have specific accommodations set aside until somebody heals, so we do, a first floor room, a room close to the restroom. The first thing we do is bring them in, wash some clothes, get them something to eat, and just let them calm down, take a nap. Just give us an emergency contact. We'll talk more about what you need later, whenever you're ready, tomorrow, whatever it works for them. The thing that I need folks to remember and think about is this is absolutely survivor-driven. We don't make decisions for folks. They make those decisions for themselves. So when they're ready to have a discussion with us about what they need, we're ready to have that.
What if the victim had children, teenage children, small children, toddlers? How does that work?
Oh, bring them.
Bring them.
And the pets.
The pet, of
Bring
course.
everybody. Yeah, we've got it for everybody. So we absolutely have family rooms. We can reconfigure the settings in the shelter. But to continue on about what they were. Let's say we get them into shelter, then we talk about, okay, what is it you need? And sometimes the biggest hurdle, and it seems really simple, is birth certificates and IDs. You can't do anything without an ID. Can't even get a job without an ID. So we work towards that. We do a referral to counseling. So we have 2 counselors absolutely free. They're on staff. One's part-time, one's full-time. That's our new addition as our full-time counselor. Very excited to have her. So people can start to heal. When you're always walking on eggshells and waiting for the next shoe to drop, it's hard to make plans for your future when you're worrying about the right now.
I don't know if you're allowed to give me or give the audience some of the magnitude of some of the numbers that we're helping in the 3 counties. Do you know some numbers from our counties? Do you know some statewide numbers in West Virginia?
I know who, for we serve, it's anywhere between 1,800 and 2,000 a year. Within shelter alone, between 150 and 175 per year. And we have added a new court advocate as well, because we're doing a remote project where victims can come to the family court hearing and attend remotely, so they don't have to be in the same room as their abuser. So what's interesting is Kanawha County alone handles 10% of the domestic violence petitions that are requested statewide. So we see an alarming number of cases in Kanawha County.
Yeah, I'm just always taken aback by having to do this show every year. We're talking with Julie Britton. She is the program director with the YWCA Resolve program. I'm going to bring Haley in here in just a moment to talk about the Girls' Night Out and why that's so important as a fundraiser for this program. But I want to continue before I bring Haley in and
Sure.
you talked about the court advocate. You probably have other collaborations and other partners that you need to work with. Do you work with state police? Do you work with corrections? Do you work with all these other advocacy programs? You work with, you collaborate a lot, don't you, Julie?
Absolutely. We, like I said, what we do really well.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things we
Sure.
don't do, we don't want to do, because we like to use our resources well.
I love it.
If there's somebody in the community and they are just making it work and doing great things, we want to partner with those folks. So we do. We have partnerships with Health Right. Corrections has their very own victim advocate. We work with her pretty closely. The Kanawha County Prosecutor's Office has advocates, as well as the Sheriff's Office. So we are working with them. We have a really great Charleston Police detective that we work with pretty closely, and domestic violence is his thing. So we do have those contacts. We know who to call.
We just recently went through a very transformative time in the archives of mankind during this COVID, and we're still not out of the woods, and I'm hearing about a little uptick. And
Yes.
I don't want to say it out loud, but I just said it out loud.
Right.
But during 2020, a few years ago, 18 months ago, when we were kind of asked to stay home, did we see an increase in episodes or phone calls, or was it good for relationships, or was that bad for relationships?
It was what we saw there. As far as a big increase, we didn't necessarily see that. What we did see, though, was that taking kids out of schools left no one to be the first responders. So usually teachers are the first ones to notice that there's something going on in the home. They are going to report that. A lot of that didn't happen. And then the stay-at-home order allowed COVID to do the abuser's job, what the abuser usually does, which is isolate individuals, keep them away from someone who could be a support. COVID did that. The stay-at-home order did that.
I want to follow up with that, because you sparked something I need to ask you.
Okay.
The abuser, what are some of the things that the victim should be looking for if they're not sure if the abuser is starting to manipulate their behavior or trying to get control? It's a control thing.
It's absolutely.
So if someone's watching this, and give the audience what the abuser does to get control of the victim.
Okay. Very first thing I want to say, because I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
No one starts off dating an abuser. It is a process. Many of the folks that are batterers are incredibly charming, and that's the key. It is when you start dating someone and they do this cute thing like text me when you're home. Sometimes that's completely innocuous. That's great. It's somebody worrying about you, want to truly make sure that you're home. In 6 months, though, when that morphs into, oh, you're home? You didn't text me? You didn't give me a call? That's a huge red flag.
The tone changes. Just
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the thing is, you're 6 months. You're invested in this person
Sure.
at that point. Like I said, nobody starts off dating an abuser. When it absolutely is so important to look for that control. Are they trying to keep you away from friends and family, somebody that can be your support? Do they have to know where you are at all times? It's great that parents can track their kids using their phones, but it's incredibly concerning for me that the ways that people can control the whereabouts of other folks for bad purposes.
It's a little easier now than it used to be.
Oh, it's a lot easier
So just
now.
like social
Yes.
media can be a good thing, it can also lead to some things that aren't as attractive to a relationship.
Absolutely.
Goodness
So when
gracious.
you see that person starting to question who you are, where you're with, needing to be everywhere with you all at one time, that's not healthy.
I'm going to ask you one more question.
Sure.
Then I promised to bring Haley in, but I wanted to.
Yay.
We're talking with Julie and Haley in just a moment. We're talking about Girls' Night Out, August the 13th, but it's a party with a purpose. We're talking mostly about the purpose right now, and the purpose of the GNO Girls' Night Out event is to raise money for the YWCA's Resolve Family Abuse Program, and we're talking with the director, Julie Britton. Talk a little bit about how you're funded to get these counselors, to get these first responders on the phone, to how are we funded with the places to stay and the food and taking care of our survivors? How are we funded?
Oh, we are funded all sorts of different
all
ways.
over the board,
Absolutely. We have federal funders, so we've got Family Violence Prevention Services money. We have Victims of Crime Act funding, which is also federal. One of our newest, but not new, latest funders is the Department of Housing and Urban Development. They fund a program right now, and we have moved 61 survivors and their families into permanent housing, and 75% of those are staying in their permanent housing and supporting themselves after our assistance ends. That's an amazing program. We have new funding from the City of Charleston that's allowed us to add the counselor and the extra court advocate to allow for the remote program. We have another small bit from the city that allows us to pay for utilities in the shelter. And DHHR allows us to keep that shelter up and running, maintenance, staffing, and food, and amazing volunteers. We have a few groups of volunteers that make sure we never go without. So.
But a truly amazing example of it. It does take a village
absolutely.
to take care and get these victims back on the road to mental wellness and back on with their life.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, it also takes fundraising events, doesn't it?
Fundraising events.
The Girls' Night Out,
yes,
if you will.
Yes.
And Haley, I turn to you now. What a great conversation with Julie. Isn't she amazing?
She's amazing.
She really does a great job. And Haley, you're the marketing director for the YWCA. You've been around for 2 or 3 years now? I don't know.
A little over 3 years now.
3 years?
Yeah.
I thought it was about 3 years. How are you enjoying your role with the YW?
Time flies when you're having fun.
You're having a good time, aren't
Yeah.
you? So here we are, Girls' Night Out. Talk a little bit about that, then I'm going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and talk about more details.
Absolutely. So Girls' Night Out is our largest fundraising event of the year, and it supports Julie's program, the Resolve Family Abuse Program. It started 24 years ago.
24 now?
24.
With Paige and Karen, I do believe.
Yeah, I mean, it started as a bunch of small parties, and women in the community would get together and they would raise money for this cause, and it's just morphed into something amazing and huge and spectacular, and women look forward to it every year. It's such a great event, and especially the reasoning behind it. And we try to stay very mission focused because it's so important. All of this work that Julie and her staff and everyone at Resolve and everyone at the YW is doing is so important. And, having the community come together and understand that and know that they're a part of something bigger. Yeah, we're getting together and having a great time and, celebrating, but we're all here for the same reason. It's a really special event.
And we're going to talk more about the actual event itself. It is time, once again, August the 13th, Girls' Night Out, GNOWV. If you'd like to learn more information about the Girls' Night Out event, GNOWV. We're still selling sponsorships. We're still securing sponsors. We're still selling tickets. You can probably come the night of. And I'm going to take a short break. And when I come back, we are going to be continue our conversation with Haley Spradlin, the marketing director with the YWCA. And we're going to be talking more with Julie Britton, the Family Resolve program director. We'll take a short break, and I will be right back. And we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our supporters of the television program. Highlights from the Heart of Our Community is brought to you through a collaboration between Jim Strawn and Company, the Media Center, and HD Media. And our newest sponsor, special thanks to Banker's Life. There's no life like the Banker's Life. For over 140 years, Banker's Life has provided financial security to their clients and policyholders. During that same time, Banker's Life has helped change the lives of many of their associates personally, professionally, and financially. Questions? Do you have questions regarding Medicare and Social Security? Give them a call, 304-757-4134. Or if you're interested in a free review with a licensed agent or looking for a new career in the financial industry, contact Dennis Harmison. Dennis.Harmison, Harmison, at bankerslife.com. There's no life like the Banker's Life. And just like that, we are back. I am continued our conversation with Julie Britton and Haley Spradlin from the YWCA. I'm going to continue to talk with Haley. It is Girls' Night Out. August the 13th, as I've said a few times. I love the theme. How did the process, Haley, go? Because every year we kind of vote on the theme, and we get a lot of investment. We get a lot of people, a buy-in, if you will, from the ladies and people that are involved. Talk about the process from the beginning to getting where All That Sparkles was our theme.
Right, so it is a long process. It's a big process. As many know, in the last couple years, we didn't really vote on themes because we were virtual during the pandemic. But this year, we were really excited to bring that voting component back so the community can get involved. So basically, our committee will get together and we'll discuss ideas. You know, we don't like to reuse themes. We want something new and fresh, and we're very cognizant. We want to be inviting. We want everyone that, you know, loves Girls' Night Out, that comes to Girls' Night Out, to be able to enjoy whatever theme is chosen. So we narrow it down to a couple themes, and then we announce it on social media, and man, do they take it from there. They love it. I mean, this year was so awesome to watch because I think everybody was in the same mindset that they just want to be back together for Girls' Night Out.
Haley, I think you reminded me, we actually haven't been together.
We haven't.
You said virtual, and I just realized 2020 was virtual and 2021 was virtual.
It was.
So we haven't had a face-to-face, in-person Girls' Night Out since 2019.
You're right.
Was that 3 years ago?
Yeah. I know, right?
What just happened? That was a fog. That was a blur.
I know. It feels like it wasn't real.
So we're going to be in the back of the atrium room, right, of the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center.
Yeah, so we have a huge space for the event, which we have to because, like we said, it's grown so large that we have so many women in the community.
We would love to have 1,500, 2,000,
oh, yeah,
2,200.
absolutely.
So that's the number we're looking at,
That's
right?
the number we want.
Haley, folks have been, but maybe there's some ladies that haven't been. Why should they come? And what should they expect when they get there?
Absolutely. The number one reason that I think anyone should come to Girls' Night Out is because of the mission and what the event supports. And it's so much bigger than any of us. Like Julie said, it takes a village, and that's our village. You know, it is such a fun event. Everybody loves a good ladies' night out, a good girls' night out. You just grab your girlfriends, you spend a night out together, you get to dress in theme. I mean, people wear long gowns, short dresses, they make headpieces. I mean, it's really a creative wonderland.
The attire is one thing, but you can come as you are.
You can come as you are. You can wear anything you want. The theme this year is sparkly. Yep.
Up on the screen right now is a great way to get your tickets. You can put your phone up to that QR code. It'll take you right to where you can get tickets. You can also call. The telephone number is on the screen. You can call 304-720-05 41. You can follow them on Facebook. You can follow them on Twitter. I want to thank, we mentioned that it does take a village. It also takes a village to put this event. Lots of sponsors, but the three major sponsors, I just want to make sure I show them some love. Thank you to TC Energy. Thank you, John L. Dickinson, the family, and Asher Agency, the advertising agency. I know it takes a lot. Haley, I know you work a lot behind the scenes on getting these sponsors, but those are our three main ones. But we're also, you can make a plea to the audience right now. If people still want to sponsor and get a couple tickets, they still can, right?
Absolutely. We still have sponsorship opportunities available. Depending on the sponsorship level, you get tickets, you get recognition, you get gift bags, which we know our ladies love their gift bags.
The swag bags
The
are to
swag
die
bags
for.
are to
Every
die
year,
for.
it's like, oh my goodness, there's seemingly hundreds of dollars worth of stuff in there. It seems like it. They're very nice.
They are very
They're
nice. And we have some awesome items going in the swag bags. We have some handmade ornaments. We have we have our T-shirts. We have some cups, some sunglasses. We have all kinds
usually
of.
sunglasses is my favorite. I'm a sunglass guy.
We have $10 gift certificates from Rock City.
Nice.
We
Very
have some
good.
really awesome things going in the gift bags. And if anyone would like to come in at a hostess level, so a hostess ticket is a little bit more than a general ticket, but the hostesses every year for Girls Night Out, that's the seed money that makes this event happen. So, we recognize them as such, and we really rely on our hostesses every year. And our hostesses get a little special something in their gift bag as well that's different from the others.
And we still have time to accept the hostess?
We still have time, yeah. I mean, we still have time for sponsors. We still have time for hostesses, general tickets.
Sponsors, tickets. A ticket now there was an early bird. I think that may have come and gone.
Early bird is over. So
tickets now are
$175.
$175. Will they be $175? Can you get it at the door? Or should you try to secure that before August the 13th? You
should definitely try to secure your tickets, your sponsorships, whatever it may be right now. General tickets will increase to $200 at the door at the event. Okay. So they will be $175 up until August the 13th.
Good information to have. So we get a swag bag. There'll be food there. There'll be spirited beverages there. All the girls, all your girlfriends, lots of photo ops. I think internet blows up that night with the photo ops that we have on social media. Just all the ladies are just stunningly gorgeous. They're going to be sparkled out, and they're just going to be all smiles, having a party for that purpose, which we've established the purpose is raising money for the mission at the Resolve program. Talk a little bit about maybe the entertainment that's going to be there to keep the party going. Ladies enjoy dancing, don't they?
They absolutely do, and we have the best of the best for that. DJ EJ.
Yeah, he's really good.
EJ is a wonderful friend, a wonderful supporter. As we all know, if we've ever seen EJ out DJing somewhere, he's doing amazing. Everybody's having fun. Everyone's enjoying themselves. He's so involved in our cause as well. So he's just such an integral part to what we do.
The event starts at 6.
Yes.
Again, at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center and goes until 10. Will he play all night, or will he go on at 7-ish or 8-ish? How does that work?
So EJ will mostly be playing all night. We will have a video which encompasses, what we do. It kind of brings it back to the mission. We have a survivor who shared her story with us this year. Her name is Ivy. So we will air that at the event so that everyone can kind of see and bring that back to why we're really here together.
Again, the party with a purpose.
Party with a purpose.
We're having a party. We're going to pause and we're going to listen to Ivy's story, who is a survivor.
Right.
I've heard it was touching at best. I mean, it's so moving. It truly happened to her.
Gives me chills to
think
about
And now she's on the other side of that.
Right.
Trying to spread, if you're in this position, you too should call the Family Resolve program.
Absolutely.
It's always been a powerful evening. It's always been a powerful mission. This show's always been powerful for me, Julie. And then this event, it just means so much to the YW and the Family Resolve program. We do a lot with the YW on the highlight show. We love to do the Women of Achievement. We love the Guys Night Out for Sojourner Shelter. We do so much that we do as much as we can for the YW, but this is bigger than any of us. Quite frankly, this is bigger than any of us. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Absolutely.
Haley, why should people come if they haven't been before? Obviously the mission, but just you got to come to this thing, right?
Oh yeah, you have to come. I mean, it's the largest event for women in Charleston. It's safe. It's fun. Bring your girlfriends. Just have a night out. We all need it the last couple of years.
And they don't just travel from the Kanawha Valley.
No.
People come from Fairmont and Morgantown and
people
Woodbridge, Virginia, and D.C. and over in Cincinnati.
All over the state, surrounding states. I mean, everybody has a good time. If you've never been, I promise you that if you come, it's going to be a blast.
I'm going to put this out there for you. What would be a nice goal for us to raise that on August the 13th at Girls Night Out?
Oh. we'd love to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars
I
for
was
this
say
shelter.
a couple $100,000 or more,
We would
right?
love to raise that
Yeah.
for this shelter.
Julie, that'll go a long way to help you with your program, right?
Absolutely. The key about this funding is that it's non-restrictive. We have wonderful funders, but there are very specific things that we can do
Sure.
with that
Good point.
funding.
Really good point.
This funding is not. So we could use it if we need to get somebody out of town and reunited with their family. Girls' Night Out money.
Or buy a new top for them, or some new
Oh,
shoes,
absolutely.
or something that they may
Clothes
need.
for kids
Yeah.
going to school. Absolutely.
Not restricted funds.
Yeah, a bed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's nothing worse than getting somebody all set up in their new apartment,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't have anything. Girls' Night Out allows that, and we have, as with any wear and tear, the shelter is continually maintenance, and more maintenance. Girls' Night Out allows for that, and we can use that funding to bring even more funding in. So, as a program director, looking at it that way, being able to use it to match and bring other funds in is pretty exciting.
So you look forward to August the 13th?
Absolutely.
Every year. Do you have your dress or whatever you're wearing
I
picked
had
out?
my dress 3 months ago.
3 months ago?
I've already showed everyone my dress.
So
yeah.
I get to be the official greeter for all the ladies that come that night.
You're going to be
I've
well.
already got my sparkly jacket.
Well,
Haley-
I mean, we may need to walk in together because this dress, I'm telling you,
okay.
it's fabulous.
If we don't walk in together, it's a photo op waiting to happen.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
Because I'm just going to sparkle all the way through.
Haley, do you have yours picked out as well?
I actually haven't bought anything yet, but I do have some ideas. I think I'm just so excited. I love the theme.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
the
hard to
theme
choose.
is all that sparkles.
Yeah,
We'll see you on August the 13th.
August 13th.
We'll see you on August
I'll
the
be there.
13th. We hope to see you on August the 13th as well. One more time, I want to give you the Family Resolve number. If you're watching this, think, should I call? Should I not call? If you have a friend, should I call? Call. It's a helpline. Just get some questions answered. 304-340-3549. 304-340-3549. Then if you'd like to purchase tickets or learn more about the actual fundraising event, Girls Night Out, GNOWV.com, or give Haley a call on the folks at the YW, 304-720-0541. And that is all the time we have for on this edition of Highlights from the Heart of Our Community. We hope to see you folks on August the 13th. We hope to see you next time right here on Highlights, as always, brought to you through a collaboration between Jim Strawn and Company, the Media Center, HD Media, and our newest sponsor. Thank you to Banker's Life. There's no life like the Banker's Life. Take care now.